That's important. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, I must ask a few questions here, if you don't mind me asking already. Yes, this is me. There you go. But before we start, who in here would consider themselves a human being? Raise your hand. Right? No one's a lizard or a chair in this, right? No one's a lizard, chairs? Okay, cool. All right, second question. How many of yourselves consider yourself an artist? Raise your hand. Trick question. Why was there more people with the first question than the second? You are both artists. Everyone within this room is both a human and an artist. Whether you are a lizard person or a chair that has hobbies, that's a little different. But my name is Abel Alejandre, as you can see. But I am both a human and an artist. You might be asking, what do you mean I am an artist? I'm a lawyer, I'm a landscaper, an IT guy, priest, insert random job here, right? However, hold on to those questions. I love the enthusiasm. Everyone has a central calling to their life, whether it's career, passion, duty, or family. But what if I told you that you can achieve all four options without sacrificing your joys or part of yourself so the rest of you can succeed? One of the reasons I ask these questions to begin with is for two reasons. One, to uncover any aliens or spies in our midst. But two, is the idea of, most importantly, focus on all artists are human. However, not all humans are artists. Well, that's backwards. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. From the invention of AI, commercialized art, to the numbing of the creative soul, resulting in all of us the death of the inner child. We should not sacrifice our happiness, our humanity, our creativity in order for us to succeed. We should use all of these skills to enjoy life. Don't let others control and mandate your imagination. You're both the limit manager, but the limit breaker of your own creativities. Some might say, God, bro, imagination, creativity, that ain't gonna be enough. That's why there's radical imagination. That pushes us to achieve what we need and want in our lives. Someone might ask, what the hell even is this? What do you even mean for you? Well, let's start from there. I come from a loving family from Indiana, not Illinois, surprisingly. They have always pushed my siblings and I to dream big and aim for the stars. Everything that happens on this earth happens for a reason. There is always some sort of relevance to everyone's events and story, the developing story of your own book, your own lives. So with these ideas as a child, I naturally gravitated towards the fine arts and video games. This exposure to all these different mediums caused an eruption of questions, curiosities, but also imagination. Not only would these be the fuse to light the dynamite, but will also become the foundations of who I am today. As someone inspired by the fine arts, loves history, creator of my own worlds, and a fan of artistic depth. In elementary, my friends and I always asked the question, who would win a fight, Batman or Spider-Man, or some random questions in the lunchroom, right? Results in friendly discussions, heated debates, and the best part, making our own comic books. This was the beginning of my story making. I was expected to support my siblings in their own athletic events. So I came prepared. I brought a sketchbook, action figures, ready to start the day. If I got restless, send me out to the concession stand. What do you want? Soda, popcorn? I got you. I did that so much the workers practically knew our family and friends. But continuing forward, however, it wasn't until I was given the chance to attend my siblings' high school theater production. My first ever show of live theater was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. To me, it was an awesome experience. The costumes, the acting, the sets, the lights, everything was so mesmerizing. I remember saying to my mom, Mom, I want to do that. Let me do that. And that is what I definitely did when I came to high school, which resulted in some of the best reasons and best ideas and hardest years of my life in high school. From joining theater, becoming an actor, a crew member, a director, and joining the pursuit of music. Branching into marching, bless you, concert, jazz band, and Elvis. I was Elvis for a bit for a halftime show. Questions later. As I became older and more experienced in storytelling, I'd be the one pointed to for guidance. However, by the time for college came, I was stumped on the journey ahead. From where I stood, there were two direct paths, each to living and varying different lives. One, making movies, and the other, teaching theater. One, the childhood dream. Two, the newest love interest of mine. I never thought I would be the teaching or teacher type, to be honest. However, I enjoyed helping those tell their stories, guiding them to the proper steps, as well as giving opportunities for those individuals to shine. A new yet intriguing option. I chose the difficult world of education. It can't be that hard compared to filmmaking, right? If I only knew. This route to my education led me to venture further into this land of gold and silver. Little to no diamonds. Yes, my wonderful new friends, opportunities, and then the pandemic. The closure of schools, the closure of opportunities, the loss of friendships. I would say these years were some of the darkest and worst times in my life. I wasn't the only one. However, I continue to pursue my art with my newest toolkit being added, Dungeons and Dragons. From now, instead of making comic books, teaching people how to be characters, I can write, create, and act as the characters from my own imagination. By the end of the pandemic years, after the years of hardship, recovery, and building my self-esteem and worth of who I am, I ventured further to my degree to then graduate with a bachelor's of education. Thank you. As much joy as everyone was feeling, I wasn't feeling anything. 5 years of studying, hard work, I finally got the paper, I got the degree, I walked the stage, and I still feel incomplete. That following year, I applied to multiple jobs, multiple opportunities. Each of them turned me away. I felt stuck. I completed these years for what? To be turned away, to work a 9 to 5 unhappy? No. I did too much. I did not sacrifice myself to be content. It was then clearing my old boxes and bags where I found myself another fork in the road, a path leading deeper into education and the childhood dream. Was I meant to go down the first path? Was it a detour? Was it a thing that I was supposed to go? I'm not sure. One thing is certain though, I'll start a new journey and bring everything I have to it. This brings me to this school, this program, in this very moment to speak before you. Throughout my life, I've fought hard to create stories, keep my art, and break the norms. I've lost many things along the way, my heart, my friends, my old life, and the death of my own inner child. However, like the ancient dragon and phoenix, not the lunch order, the myth, I rose from the ashes anew, a fiery passion to create more than before. What is radical imagination to me? It is the ability to pursue both your passions and duty without the sacrifice of self. You may have gone through hardships, tough times in your lives. We're all human, but that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice your passion too. We're all artists, for we are both creatively inclined, stubborn, but adaptable. You are the arbiter of your own imagination and of where your creativity begins. No one else has the power to control your creativity or imagination. We all believe that the world can always be better than how it is, or worse. These thoughts are just the start of this radical imagination. The world is, like us, human. It is both beautiful and yet imperfect. For what if the system world is already messed up as it is? How can we do to help to save a dying planet, to a deteriorating art, or a corroding soul? You are an artist by challenging yourself to benefit from experience. Not only boost yourself, but others as well. Challenging yourselves gives you the ability to not only be proud of what you've accomplished, but feel satisfied. As children, once we complete a single task or project, we feel like winners, heroes even. But as an adult, what happened? And no, we grew up does not count. But it's this idea of feeling that inner victory, that satisfaction, accomplishment. Rather, the inner child has long passed. You are an artist because you can restore these feelings and ideas. You can bring back these ideas through your exploration of passion, discovering of yourself, completing the needs and wants of your very own lives. My first year of Columbia was definitely one of exploration and discovery. Not only means some of the best friends I have, making new worlds and opportunities, but also making movies, bro. It was exciting. New grounds, new worlds, tested my mettle and challenged myself. This semester, particularly. The master's program, we are tasked to create a short film, 5 to 8-ish minutes. However, this time, the sandbox is open. No limits, no imagination to what ideas we can do, except for school and finance reasons, of course. But that was a given circumstance. Taking some of these stories I have from my undergrad, adding new twists from my current life, and the youth of imagination I had, I created my newest and proudest production to date, A Corroding Soul. A dark fantasy, a steampunk world filled with science, magic, and madness. However, this project was created through both a radical imagination and resilience. Throughout my early writing and pre-production, I was told by many individuals, this is a lot. You can't make this film. A robot, you can't manage that. Change your imagination. Whether it was from the faculty, my own peers, I faced these comments and doubts throughout the entirety of my production. Whether it was my resilience or my stubbornness, probably both, I pushed forward and made something that was one of a kind. I assembled an awesome team to create the school from other schools, from other departments, reaching out to fashion, to theater, film, even graphic design came in to help. All of whom I could not be more than thankful for joining me on this mission, this quest, this journey of creating something new, to create a dream come true. In the end, it was a journey worth having, founding newfound friendships, networking with other worlds, and a stronger bond to those who pushed me to be able to be here today. However, this crew isn't just tied under the banner of the story, but of passion. Everyone in this crew had some sort of stake. Everyone had something unique to partake in this project. We made something completely new and made the bar even higher from when we first entered the school. It was something that would go down in history of one of my best productions, but also remain for what is possible for other films to be can and cannot be done. This was a journey of discovery for myself of what I can do. I have many other characters and ideas and locations and stories to tell. This film and project was more than a grade. It was more than a production. It was the beginning. And I still have a thesis I gotta work with. And I already have several ideas and characters in mind for this. But you're saying that this is only possible within theater and film, right? This idea of collaboration, that can't be done anywhere else. Wrong. No matter your career, no matter your hobby or duty, there's always some sort of crossover that begins. Break the normal ideas and ways of life for something new and unique to yourself. These careers that you chose, the reasons you're on this path is because of the inner child you had. They found joy and love in creating something new, helping others, making something beautiful, or leaving a legacy behind. That is one point that we all share, legacy. We want to leave something behind, whether it's for family, for art, the message, change, or a path for others to follow. What does a photographer, an actor, journalist, writer all have in common? They all make a legacy. Artists such as Ida B. Wells, Ai Weiwei, Sidney Poitier, and J.R.R. Tolkien inspired generations of artists, musicians, filmmakers, and even more than that. All of them lived through different walks of life, each of them experiencing a unique and challenging the norms. They pushed against the majority to uncover the truth in the minority. These are the artists of their own stories, their own inspirations and struggles, and of breaking those limits. However, these are singular individuals that create a legacy that the next generation are able to revisit and make their own ideas. They create these opportunities so others can carry on and fight for a better world, fight with their radical imagination. This isn't only possible as an individual, but as a group. To our musicians, songs such as We Are the World and Earth are massive collaborations of artists, genres, and time capsules. Each of these songs features artists spread and made for a singular purpose to spread love, hope, and faith in one another. No matter your career, duty, passion, or life, you're just as important as the person next to you. And as I mentioned before, you don't have to be in the entertainment business or create art daily to be an artist. All you need is a chance to make something new, unique to you. Use your creativity and your imagination to benefit and break the mold. Create the reality you want to live. Don't sacrifice yourself so you can succeed. All of you is important. Challenge yourself, break the norms, and bring back that inner child to life. Start small, and the ripples will be felt by others. We're only human. We're not meant to be perfect. We wish, though, but just enough. Creativity does not end with you, but simply, it is just the beginning. Thank you. And now I can ironically say, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.